Here we are, live, episode 8, What's in Dave's Lunchbox? Check it out. Today is going to be a good one. Okay, today's topic is the dangers of small appliances in kitchens. First, I'll go over my lunch. Got an invisible banana, check it out. Lime seltzer water, peanut butter and jelly, granola bar, and cheese. Okay, we're going to break up the show a little bit into two parts. With all the crazy stuff going on with the coronavirus, we really want to give to our community and we want to help out. So what I'm doing, I'm starting a new project. It's called Project Make It Happen Ocean County. We're taking a small proceeds from any one of our projects and we're going to make a donation to somebody in need. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a profit from that job, we're going to buy a gift card from a local business, and we're going to deliver that to the local hospital community or all the frontliners out there working, doctors, nurses, admins, all the people out there are risking their lives. That's the ones who really deserve the attention right now. So today's topic is the dangers of small appliances. Does anybody know how many fires there are in 1 year from kitchen appliances? Well, the number is 69,000. That's how many fires are caused by small appliances in kitchens. By stupid things. And probably from people just not being educated and not knowing about it. Let's back this up from the beginning. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, when microwaves first came around, they were like the coolest thing. Microwaves and VCRs, those were the thing, and everybody's like, oh, I gotta have one. So these houses that were wired in the 60s, 70s, and 80s were not prepped for the microwaves they have back then, the plug-in ones. So if your house, I would say, was wired before 2000, you're definitely going to need what's called a dedicated 20 amp circuit to your microwave. So I get so many calls all the time, people getting these new microwaves that go over the stoves and they're hung, and they use the existing wiring, which is a 15 amp circuit. No, any microwave has to be on a dedicated 20 amp circuit. And all those 15 amp circuits, they were originally wired for exhaust fans that go over the stove. They didn't have the capacity to hold a high-powered 1700 watt microwave or 2000 watt microwave. So like I said, there's 69,000 fires a year just by carelessness on appliances. Anytime you upgrade your toaster, crock pot, toaster oven, coffee machine, all those appliances have nameplates on them. It tells you what the wattage is on there and the amperage. It's extremely important to find out when your house was wired, because if the wiring is older than 2000 or even, I would say at least 2000 or older, you definitely want to have that double checked and certified that it has the 220 amp circuits made for that. Because some of the older houses, I would say in like the 50s and 60s, they only have one 15 amp circuit in the whole entire kitchen. And people buy all this stuff, especially now with everybody home doing all this cooking. You plug a crock pot in there, you plug a toaster, a coffee pot, you're done. And if you have an old circuit breaker that doesn't trip, even worse. That's why it's extremely important to know what kind of wire you have in your house. A lot of people don't know it. Anytime we hang a new microwave, we always run that circuit. It's just part of it. I won't even install it for that reason. Coffee pots, like the K-cup machines, those should definitely be separate. Just like the toasters, they all should be separate. You can't put all those on one 15 amp circuit. That's why the code is a minimum of 220 amp circuits. What you should really do is calculate how many appliances you have run at the same time. Now, if you have 120 amp circuit, like the older houses were wired with 120 or 115, you could use any one of these at once. Where the problem starts is when you plug all these in or more than one at the same time. So if you're using your microwave overhead in a 15 amp circuit, then use your toaster, and they're both rated for a total, say 25 amps, that breaker is going to trip. And if you have an older panel with older breakers, what happens? They don't trip. So the breaker stays on, all the ampacity is going through that wire, it's only rated for 15 or 20 amps, you're using 25, 30 amps, it overloads and that's what starts the fire. That's why it's extremely important. Find out all the appliances you have in your kitchen. All you have to do is write down the wattage or the kilowatts, find the total, and then if you're not comfortable checking the circuit breakers yourself, it's pretty simple. You turn one off with a little tester, you see which one goes off, find out what you have. If you're not comfortable, you could always call an electrician. They'll tell you exactly how it's wired. But typically it'll say on the breaker 20 amp or 15 amp. So you should have two, a minimum of two 20 amp small appliance circuits is in your kitchen. Picture an older house, wired in the 60s or 70s, and they had the 115 amp circuit. Here comes somebody that buys the house, they don't know anything about electrical. They put a new state-of-the-art dishwasher in there, they put a wine cooler in there, they put a K-cup coffee pot in there, they have a toaster oven, a regular toaster, the microwave, a crock pot, and then they decide to plug a phone charger in there. Now we're talking, add all that up, we're probably talking about 40, 50 amps, all in one 15 amp circuit, and bam, that's when it trips. And that's what happens. And most of the fires happen because of ignorance, people not knowing, and stupid stuff. It's because some people don't think or they don't take the time. They're so busy worried about cooking, you're doing all this stuff in their kitchen, and they don't take the time to think or figure this out. Let's see what we got. Your house was built in 1977? Yeah, the 70s. Those houses are still not designed, unless you had the upgrades, designed for today's appliances and today's technology. Nope. So, let's see what else we got here. Well, I remember when I was young, I'll tell you a little story, maybe like 10 or 11. My grandmother bought a microwave, it was in the 80s. We were all excited, we knew what the heck this thing was. My grandfather comes home with this big box, it was like from Caldors. And we open up the box, we plug it in, it's a microwave. We had no clue what it was. The only thing we knew was it made popcorn. So we took the microwave out, we plugged it in, bam, turned it on, started making the popcorn. Within about 3 minutes, everything in the whole house went out. We had no idea what to do, we didn't know what was going on. So we reset, I can't believe I remember. So we reset the circuit breaker in the garage, and what happened was they had their coffee pot plugged into the same outlet as the microwave, so it was actually heating up the coffee. So then we unplugged it, and it worked. That just goes to show you the wiring back then, it wasn't rated for it. It's a real life proof scenario. Another thing that's good to do, I'll tell you another little trick. If you take the time to go around and try to find that circuit for your kitchen, what I would do is trip it. In other words, turn the circuit breaker off, turn it back on and off twice, just to exercise it. So if the breaker is never tripped, it's gonna sit there for a while. And what happens is it can get oxidized from the air, especially if you're by the water, and the springs inside actually seize up. So if it never trips and resets, the time you need it to trip, it's not gonna trip. Another thing that really important is maintenance. I'm not asking anybody to do this or touch it, but what you really want to do as far as electrical maintenance is open up the panel and tighten the screws on the breakers and literally take the breaker off and put it back on. Sometimes it slides off, the little clip on there, and it's not making a good connection, and that will cause it to trip. All right, what I want to talk about now is this project Make It Happen of Ocean County. Our first customer to participate, her name is Kathy Oliveira. We did a little job for her in Toms River area, some recessed lights. We're gonna take a small amount. We're gonna buy a gift certificate from her. We're probably gonna buy this one at Shady Rest. Remember, this is all local business. We'll buy a gift certificate at Shady Rest. So we're gonna take that gift certificate and somehow we're gonna get it to Community Medical Center for all the first-in-liners. So I'm trying to do everything digital. So we did that job digitally. I'm gonna buy the gift certificate from Shady Rest without going there, whether they gotta mail it to me or whatever. Then we're gonna take it and we're gonna deliver it to the medical center, Community Medical Center. All the people that are here, that are working together, let's give them some credit. Ocean County, support our area. That's why it's called Project Ocean County. Anybody want any information about that, let me know. Just call, text me, however you wanna contact me, and I'll make it happen. That's why it's called Make It Happen. I'm physically making it happen. I'm taking something from Kathy, taking my time, our money, we're buying something, we're giving it to people who deserve it. All right, until then, thanks everybody for watching. Most important thing is be safe, follow the rules, work together. Thank you.